everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOCReader, and welcome back to my channel. So happy March, y'all. So we are a couple of days into March, and I decided to actually take today off from work so that I could get my life in order because things have just been crazy. You know when you really just are in need of a weekday off? I feel like I'm in need of a weekday off pretty much every month, and we are luckier that in the fall, pretty much every month, I do get a weekday off. However, we didn't have one in February. I mean, normally I would have President's Day off, but my job decided to use that as a day to like have staff-wide meetings instead. So I spent a lot of day in boring meetings, just like wishing I was home because it was a cold, like gloomy day. And after all this back-to-back snow just being really depressing, I needed just like a day off. Plus it's tax season and I didn't have my stuff together. So today I got organized, was able to gather all my W-2s. I hate that they were automatically paperless and I didn't realize that they were automatically paperless. So now I gotta go print those off and drop them off to the accountant. But I was able to get some of my stuff together, woke up this morning, had my coffee, made myself a nice breakfast, baked some bread, finished the book, thank God, because I have been really struggling to finish my books in a timely manner. And I still have some reviews I need to write, some things I need to get in order because I am really trying to get back on track for the month of March and get back into it. I know a lot of you have been following my writing journey and I've been editing like heavily again. I was doing a lot of like little writing on stuff, but now I'm like back into editing mode and I am going to send out the book that I've been working on for the past couple of years, like my YA fantasy project, to someone else to read soon and give me some feedback on my edits, so that should be really interesting. And I'm still playing catch up on books because like I had all these plans for books last month and then things didn't go as planned. I feel like February was just a very hectic month. So I actually was able to finally finish Soul of the Stone today. So this will be part of my March wrap up. And really quickly, I just wanted to go over the books that I ended up finishing during the month of February, like second half, because I feel like the second half really slowed down for me after I kind of read that one book. If y'all know, y'all know. If you don't, go back and watch my February mid-month wrap up. After that book, I was kind of in a reading slump of sorts. Like, I read the first page of It Lurks in the Night, and then I put it aside because I'm like, ooh, this is reminding me of one of my favorite childhood movies, so I'm just gonna put this aside and read it when I can fully engage in it. So this is another one that I'm carrying over and I plan to read during the month of March, but I think I'm going to like really just focus a couple days on solely reading this. And yeah, I ended up actually turning to some audio reads. I had an Audible deal where like I think I was paying 99 cents a month for 3 months. And so I did get a couple of books I wanted on audiobook that were like exclusive to Audible. But I find when on the rare occasions I do have the Audible subscription, I don't normally listen to like the originals. So I decided to actually listen to a couple of originals to feel like I got my money's worth out of the service, you know. I really don't like doing Audible. Unfortunately, some publishers only do the audiobook with Audible, but I prefer Libby, I prefer Hoopla, I prefer Libro FM if I'm gonna buy the audiobooks. I listened to It Happened One Heist, which was by Shanae Howard, narrated by Amber Riley and Anthony Ray Perez. And let me just say, this book bothered me. It started off really interesting. I was like, okay, we're getting a little romance here. It's a heist romance. We're following this museum curator and she has a passion for Haitian history, and they're like these special jewels, and then they end up stolen. And I'm like, okay, I'm into this. The romance was awful. I feel like they had no chemistry. It's essentially a falls in love with her bodyguard romance. And it's not a long read. It's like it was a pretty quick listen, but it felt like it was dragging because they just didn't have any chemistry together. The only thing I can remember about this man is he was just so good looking, which isn't enough. Like, he was just so cliche, forced. I feel like the banter really wasn't bantering the way it should. At one point, he was being very secretive, and I truly don't understand why he was being secretive. And at one point, he talked about how he doesn't like to use his last name. He doesn't like to reveal his last name. And she tried to equate that to Black people having their last names stolen from them and replaced with like the white slaver names. And I'm like, girl, no. He wasn't even Black. So like, but she said our ancestors. I was like, girl, we don't have the same ancestors, and not even close. Like, I actually got irritated at that because I hate when, and this doesn't just happen in interracial romance books, but it happens in all types of romance books, or in non-romance books as well. I hate when we compare racism to things that aren't as like a meet me halfway type of situation between two completely different groups. Because he was, I believe, Latinx. Latinx is not a race. Latinx is not a race. You can be white and be Latinx. And I feel like no matter how much we say it, people who don't actually interact with these groups of people fail to understand this. So anyway, off that one, because that was really not a good one. Then I actually listened to Soothsayers, which is a play by Nathan Allen Davis. And I actually really enjoyed Soothsayers. This is another very quick one because it is a play. I think it took me like 2 hours to listen to it. Very good. Very trippy because it was a psychological drama from this woman, and she's like all up in her head about starting a family with her husband. And she's like, my aunt is dying. I have this, that she's dying. I feel like people are calling out to me. And she's going through this grief and just trying to figure out where she wants to go in life. It's hard to really explain it. Again, it is very short, but it was a really great listen. I actually really enjoyed this one, and I'm glad it caught my eye. So I read How We Play the Game. This one is by Alexis Ned. I did not read her first book, but I wanted to read something from her. And I actually got sent this unsolicited by Bloomsbury. So I really am not a gamer. My sister is more of the gamer. But I know gaming is a big deal. I have a lot of mutuals who play games and stuff. I'm just not a gamer. I used to computer game back in the day, but I'm kind of like a reader, a writer. I love to do makeup. Like, that's my bag. But I still like hearing people talk about the games. I like seeing what games they play, like their little stories about their Sims and stuff. So basically in this book, we are following Zora, and she is one of the top gamers for Wizard Gaming. They have this big competition and end up taking their top players who won in that competition and putting them in this academy for the summer. She lies to her uncle who works in gaming, but she doesn't want to tell him like she's doing this because he doesn't want her going down the gaming path. That she is at some coding camp instead. And he's oblivious and just thinks, you know, she's at this coding camp, so he's checking in on her throughout the book to see how things are going, what she's doing, whatever. In reality, she is at this academy in this competition of sorts. It's like a viral battle royale. And there is this gamer that she hates there. And his name is... what is his name? Ivan. His name is Ivan. And Ivan... people are actually wondering why he's even there, because he didn't win the big competition last year to even be there. But since he's like the game world bad boy. He's really well known. The girls love him, blah, 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 blah. They're not surprised he's there completely. He is actually there spying on behalf of the gaming company, trying to like move the pieces along and stir up drama in this competition. And unbeknownst to them, he and Zora end up linking up and fake dating, and it's supposed to help level up her place in the competition as well as help him, but he's also trying to keep her in her place because, like, if she's gaming the game better than him, then the company should just be paying her to, you know, be their person on the inside instead of him. So it was a little slow at first to come together. Zora was very unlikable at first, I will say that. Now, she does have autism. I can't remember when they actually flat out said she had autism, but I feel like it was hinted at before. And I will say autism is not an excuse to be a bitch. It's not. And at first she was just like really unnecessarily hostile, while also simultaneously talking about how Black women are just perceived as angry and stuff like that. But like, you were unnecessarily hostile, so that kind of conflicted with that a little bit for me. It did kind of smooth out and get better the more that we got along in the game. But then I feel like it ends very abruptly, where you're like, wait, we need like one chapter more to tie everything together. Overall though, it was a quick read. It was cute enough. It wasn't my favorite, but it was a decent like afternoon read. The Boyfriend Launcher by Rachel Garrett. So it felt good to pick up a teen book that actually felt like teeny, because I feel like a lot of YA now is more reaching for the older audience. Like, they're trying just to get the adults who still love YA, and the characters are like 19 and they're basically running around being grown. I'm not saying I hate all of those. There's a couple that I do like, but this one actually felt like it was for a teen audience. Like, we're following this girl, her name is Drew, and she is excited about soccer. I think she's a junior, and she's still like anticipating, what am I going to do for school in the future? She has this best friend named Winston. They've grown up together their whole lives. Moms are good friends. Their families are somewhat intertwined because her older sister is marrying his oldest brother. And basically with Drew, she feels like she is a boyfriend launcher, in that every guy that she finds herself interested in and ends up giving a chance to date, they end up breaking up for some reason, and then they end up finding their like best match right after dating her. So at first she's going to ask the guys like, what makes her the problem? But then she realizes how embarrassing it is, and one of the guys is actually very rude to her. And Winston ends up stepping in to be her fake boyfriend, and they do boyfriend and girlfriend type things so they can figure out what kind of girlfriend he is so she can fix her problem. So of course, fake dating, they end up realizing they have real feelings for each other. It was a little bit of a twist on the fake dating, because I feel like sometimes it's very hard to find ways for like to justify why these characters are fake dating at all. And overall, it was like a cute friends to lovers situation. It was very slow burn, and you're just waiting for them to like realize that they like each other. But it was a cute book. So that was what I read for the rest of February. March, I don't know, y'all. I'm all over the place. I really do want to read The Reaper. This is a priority. I know I said that last month and then like did not get to reading it, and I was supposed to read it that one week and I did not. Look, life was lifing, too much stuff was happening, I was doing a lot of stuff, like I did not have time. Like, it's hard for me to plan out time to read, and then like I feel like multiple Saturdays in a row I was just going around visiting different family members, so that took up like half the weekend. And you know, I be tired. Like, my day job keeps me busy. We are in our busiest time right now. But I really do want to read this because I love a good urban fantasy. I want to read more urban fantasy, and I want to be able to give you guys more thorough recs. So this is something that I feel like if I read a little bit every week, slowly through the month, I can actually finish. On top of that, there's just a lot of great things that are coming out in March, and very interesting things that came out recently. Like, I got this sent to me by Random House Kids graphic novels, and I want to read this one too. This is Lovely Recipe. It's a sapphic romance about baking. So this is actually very cute and like sweet, and should be really easy to read. I will probably end up reading this one this week. And my library hold came in for The Marriage Narrative by Claire Kahn. So I'm looking forward to this one. Claire Kahn is kind of a mixed bag for me. I didn't like her YA. And I didn't love the last one I read by her, but it was messy and intriguing, so at least it kept me reading. I think this is her first Black romance, so that's what really made me want to pick it up. And Mama's Chicken and Dumplings, of course, is back on my TBR. I really want to get to this one. I have been saying I need to read this one for quite some time. I threw an Aisha up because not only do I have the ARC, which thank you Tor for giving it to me, but also like it's not that long. It really isn't. I mean, it's over 300 pages, but it really does not feel like it's that long. So realistically, I could read it before the end of the month, and I think this is one that a lot of people will be talking about, so I do want to get to it. And I have Harper Sharp Kid Detective, which is another graphic novel that I want to get to. This one was sent to me by Random House, and it is a middle grade. You know I'm always looking for more books for young Black boys. Aiku Journey to Ibra is one that was sent to me last year. I had the ARC. I don't have the ARC anymore. I actually gave that one to my niece because she is in the middle grade, you know, age range. And I thought it would be great for her to read. She was actually excited because I'm like, girl, I got you an exclusive early copy. She's never had an ARC before, so she was excited about that. And this one is about space, which I have been talking about wanting to see more books about Black kids in space since I went to the Kennedy Space Center back in 2022. So I gotta support when I see these books. Simon & Schuster sent me Olivia Gray Will Not Fade Away by Sierra Birch, and I have been reading the Sierra Birch books slowly. At least her middle grade. I am caught up on her middle grade now after reading Camp Twisted Pine. I need to read this one next. I really wish her middle grade had audiobooks. I don't know why they don't give her audiobooks. I haven't dipped my toe in her YA yet, but maybe after I finish her middle grade, I will dip my toe in her YA. Charmed and Dangerous by Shelley Page comes out this month. I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but I think it's super cute. Black sapphic girlies, always fun to see, and it has some magic in it, and you know magic is my jam. So, like I said, I'm still figuring things out for the month of March. I want to read everything and then somehow end up reading nothing some months, or at least it feels like nothing, but I am really trying to get myself organized and make 2026 the best it can be. Let me know if any of the books that I've mentioned in this video sound interesting to you. If you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!